Bueno Days is a tool that teleports minds into positive states of confusion.
Good morning, buenos days, and welcome to the podcito. Today, ladies and gents, we are doing my first driving session. So, there might be you might hear some exclamations or a little distraction, but don't mind me. Just getting my way into work on a Friday morning, and I hope all of you. I know I'm talking like this is a live session. I've been doing that with a lot of my, past balsitos. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm probably gonna keep doing that, a little bit. It kind of helps with my flow, I think, my cadence. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it makes it worse. Who knows? So, anyways, I do hope that whoever is listening to this is also having a great day. Rise and shine or late at night, no matter when you're listening to this, it's all about having those bueno days. So, which honestly surprises me. We don't have a merch shop yet, because that's a solid. I love that. Buenos days, buenos dias, but and then also you've got like the day. It's a very chill slogan. I like it a lot. We live in this world now where like UFOs are kind of a I don't want to say a possibility, but that they're certainly being taken more seriously, potentially by the scientific community, and I think it's an interesting concept. So I want to talk about this. I've been unrelated. I was just kind of talking it up with my brother and buddy. About this kind of dream I had, right? But I don't really remember if it was a dream or if it's just this idea that I have for science fiction, which is the concept of like silicon-based life forms, or not so much silicon-based life forms, but what does a world look like where instead of internal combustion engines, instead of petrochemicals, instead of that form of chemical reaction to use as a power source, as a fuel source. I was curious I wanted to like visualize what sort of energies could do something similar. And the thing that kind of got to me was, plasma is a very generic term in sci-fi, right? Plasma rifles and plasma batteries, I guess. I'm sure they're a thing. But I was, just kind of thinking about what an I wouldn't be organic, right? Organic is a earth-based term to use to describe like the use of carbon in chemistry and how like freaking valuable it is. But with something like silicon, which is kind of similar in the or selenium, right? Selenium. If y'all ever saw Evolution, like back in 2003, 2, whenever it came out, it's a great movie. Highly recommend. But yeah, they had these selenium-based life forms, which were just above carbon in the periodic table. And if you know anything about the periodic table, you would understand that, or maybe it was silicon. I'm pretty sure it was selenium. No, that's right. Selenium is just as dangerous to silicon-based life forms as arsenic is to carbon-based, us humans, carbon-based, the whole fucking planet Earth, carbon-based life forms, right? So yeah, it was silicon, and I just remember like kind of drunkenly talking about this. And not within 2 days, I had this recommendation on my YouTube for, because obviously we're constantly being surveilled and listened to all the time, right? It was like literally the name of the video was "No, the aliens will not be silicon." And I was like, oh, that's too weird. So I check it out, and polyester, I'm pretty sure is how that's pronounced. But it's this really cool. She does like a ton of kind of deep dives into she's an astrophysicist, and she does like a lot of just like general topics. So yeah, she did this. The aliens will not be silicon. She's gone into like the James Webb Telescope, which was recently launched and is like starting to bring back pictures. So she talked about how she was kind of annoyed with the naming of the James Webb Telescope because he's like an administrator and not actually a scientist. Like it's it's a podcast. It's what we're doing here on the show, on the Podcito. But I'm trying to think of another hit video of hers. Anyways, I also was recently starting to watch Dr. Fatima, who is another astrophysicist, specializes in black holes. That's like her area of expertise, and she does a really cool job. A lot of her videos do talk about the social aspect of science, the the unintended biases that, for as rational and perfect and mathematical as something like physics can be, that we're human and we're doing this. There's still a huge amount of room for not just human error but human bias. And you might say, hey, numbers can't lie, but they absolutely can. And people, if there's this saying, this quote, where for every problem, for every question, there are infinite hypotheses. And that's not a direct quote. Don't quote me on that. But it was this guy who now I want to read about because he seems like a badass. He was doing, I don't know what year he's from or if he's still alive, but he was an author later in his life, but he started doing like freaking Cambridge level physics, and then burnt out by like age 15 and just went on to build motorcycles and ride them, obviously. So God, what is his freaking name? It doesn't matter. Dr. Fatima, like if you want a really cool I wouldn't say they're casual. She talks about like Pluto, and whether or not it deserves to be a planet and why that matters, which is actually a really kind of cool idea to talk about. How does making science a when Pluto happened, when the scientists decided, when physicists decided to revise their definition of what a planet was and excluded Pluto, freaking dude, I remember like that was back in 04, 05, and nobody, right, and everybody has an opinion about Pluto now, like everyone. Oh, I've got a call coming in. Gentlemen, ladies and gents, let me take this, please. I will be back. Well, that might be. It's not often that I get to spend my whole morning drive talking, so I want to thank you guys. for helping me and giving me a new experience. Let's go. So, anyways, back to where I was. We were talking about how everyone thought they were an expert at Pluto, right? Or just astrophysics, and now everyone knows and has their own favorite planet. And it was kind of this cool, interesting microcosm of people who were interested. Literally, canceling Pluto probably turned a lot of young kids, young minds, to want to be to want to be a physicist, to want to get. What do you call the people who study planets? They're not astrophysicists, are they? That's like the dynamics of space. But no, someone who studies like the actual celestial bodies would be. There's a word. There's a name for it. Anyways, I did just pull into my office, so I've got to go trudge away for like the next 8 to 9 hours. But I will be catching all of you guys later. And anything else to add to this? No, love you guys, and catch you later.